Welcome to Kykar. And as far as our opening hand goes, we have one land. So let's go and mulligan on this one. Yeah, we can keep on this. That's Skull Clamp. That'll definitely give us some really nice card advantage against Kozilek over there. So we're going to go and keep on this one, and we've got a ton of lands. And more than likely, we will see an artifact since this is a monocolored deck. So I think at this point, we'll just put Windscarred Craig, Mr. Craig himself, on the bottom of the library. That way, hopefully, he can get some nice little healing ointment for his scars. So we are on the play first. So let's go and lead off with Flooded Strand. And we're going to go ahead and go for Skull Clamp. That way we can get that down and talk about our commanders and jump into it and have some fun. Okay, so let's go Flooded Strand. We're going to go for Tundra. Yeah, I think Tundra would be a good option for us to go for, especially with us having Disenchant. So let's grab that Tundra. Let's have Skull Clamp come down. And then anything else, pass the turn over our opponent. We're playing Kykar, Wind's Fury, Flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with a flying. Then for an activated ability, sacrifice a spirit, add red mana to your mana pool. Playing against Kozilek, the Great Distortion. We're going to use this Disenchant so quick. I mean, it's just going to be burning to get out of our hand to pop that Soul Ring. So Disenchant on Soul Ring. Oh, that feels good. And then kick it back over there. Playing its Kozilek, the Great Distortion. When you cast a spell, if you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. It does have Menace. Then discard a card with converting mana cost X. Counter target spell with. Are we about to face Tron in Commander? All right. Let's see. So we go Arid Mesa. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And just in case we run into Brainstorm, we'll probably just go and hold on to Arid Mesa until the very last minute. So at least without cracking it. And then we'll go and pass turn over to our opponent. So with Kozilek, that last ability, that's a pretty solid ability. One of the first or second lounges that we did, I had Kozilek on the battlefield, and Mudstone went to go do something, and I countered a spell with Kozilek, and that solidified our friendship. He's been mad at me ever since, so it's kind of fun. Monastery Mentor or Kykar. I think we need to get the Skull Clamp going. That's going to be the important thing for us at this point right now. So we really need to get Skull Clamp. So let's do this. Let's go Shivan Reef. We're going to go and crack Arid Mesa. We're going to go and grab ourselves a volcanic island that we can at least have 2 red sources on the battlefield. And let's just go for Kykar. You know, if they've got some spot removal, they've got it. But at least at this point, we'd have Kykar into the battlefield. We can start casting, even if we just cast like a Dynacharge into Kykar, we definitely want to use something like Dynacharge to help us close the game out. We can use that overload ability. But if we can just use it to get a token on the battlefield to Skull Clamp, that's some pretty good magic right there. So we did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to join the Kykar Spirit Squad and be a spirit that we sacrifice, hey, head on over there. You're going to have some fun. Also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. You can use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off your order off anything off the website. So if you have not destroyed. All right, so they're going to go for the -1. Yeah, that's okay. We can rebound with Monastery Mentor. And they're going to have Vesuva enter the copy as the battlefield of Urza's Tower. So they almost have Tron, but we'll see. I'll probably end up going for Monastery Mentor just to get with Ugin. And then Path to Exile on Kozilek. Yeah, not too bad. So we do have to tap down for white mana. So let's go have Monastery Mentor enter the battlefield. And with Dynacharge, we can actually do this during our opponent's turn. So we might end up going for that. So anything else, kick it back over there. But yeah, be sure to check out inkgaming.com. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, there's a link down in the description below. Get your name at the beginning or the ending of the credits or both. And if you can't do that, hey, no problem. Just tell somebody about the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Now it is officially free time. Let's have some fun. Now, I hadn't played Kykar in a minute, but I did make a few changes to the deck. Nothing super crazy. Added Arcane Signet and cut one of the talismans. I think like the red-white talisman, just because this deck is pretty much blue-based, or any of the spells that we're going to need are pretty much going to need blue in there, so I ended up cutting that. And then I did add the Royal Scions to the deck, which is basically kind of like Dak Faden #2 in a way. It was just a 3-mana planeswalker that's just going to generate you some really nice card advantages as the game wears on, and something you can have fun with. So now with Ugin sitting at 2, we do have Prowess, and we can go for Path to Exile on Spirit Token if we wanted to. But I think at this point, Let's see what we want to go for, because we're getting pretty close to Kozilek. They've got one card left in the hand. That's going to be 1-2. Oh, we're going to see Karn come down too. Yeah, we might just go ahead and go for a Dyna Charge. We'll wait and see what our opponent ends up going for, because if they go for the -2, that might be what we path to exile for. But as far as their mana goes, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if they untap Monolith, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that will end up being a 4/4. Let's see if we. I doubt they're going to swing in with that Spirit token, but if they do, that would be really good, because we can Dyna Charge and get a few extra creatures down. But if we can one-hit Karn and Ugin in some way, then we'll try to go for that. All right, so they're not going to go for that, but I think we do need to end up going for a Dyna Charge, simply just because if we don't hit the land drop, we can always go for the equip on that. And they will go, yeah, that's a good option. They're going to go for the Swiftfoot boost onto Construct token. So let's go for a Dyna Charge. I'm just going to cast it on Monastery Mentor. We just want to get a body on the battlefield at this point right now. That's going to be very important for us. We can still beat Karn and Ugin if they stick around on the battlefield. That -3 is just really going to stick, kind of make it hard for our game plan to really get accelerated if they're going to be able to keep destroying Kykar. So that will be a 4/4 Construct token we do have to deal with, but if we can hit one, ooh, Swiftfoot Boots. Well, that is an answer. Okay. So I think at this point, so we can just straight up Skull Clamp on the Monk token, which I think we're not hitting the land drop. We have got to keep up on mana. As much as I don't really want to do this, we're going to have to go for this. So we're going to go Skull Clamp on Monk token. We're going to cash in 2 card draw. Oh, there we go. So we hit Misty, Royal Scions until end of turn. We can go for the +1 if we want to give Monastery Mentor First Strike and Trample damage. It's going to make it Prowess, because that is a non-creature spell, and also give us access to Path to Exile, which would be pretty nice. I think I kind of like that. So I'm just going to crack a Misty, and we'll probably grab another white source, because we are kind of bottlenecked on white mana, and we'll go and shock in this Hollowed Fountain. We can afford to kind of pay a little bit of life on this. So let's go for the Royal Scions. That's going to be red, white, and then one actually helps if we tap down for blue. Okay, we're going to have the Royal Scions enter the battlefield. That's going to give us an extra Monk token. That's going to get the Prowess going for Monastery Mentor, and that's going to make it a 3/3. Yeah, First Strike and Trample is going to be pretty good. So let's put that on Monastery Mentor, because we're going to get rid of one of these creatures. That's going to be a 5/3. Let's go Path to Exile on the swords. That way it does give them an extra land for Kozilek, but we're building up our Monk tokens. We're giving us options for Skull Clamp. And at the same time, it's going to make it to where whatever they decide, if they want to block with Construct token, it's not going to be good for them. And at least hopefully we'll be able to kind of squeeze in some damage on our opponent. So that's going to get rid of that creature. That's going to be put the exiled face down card in your hand. So they will get that card back. And that's going to be another waste on the battlefield. So we're looking at a 6/4, and we can deal with Ugin right now, and I think that's kind of what we want to go for. So let's just push in at Ugin, and First Strike and Trample is a pretty good thing against a 4/4 regular dude. So swinging in at Ugin, that's going to be a 6/4. Make sure we're doing that right. Yep, that is a 6/4 coming across, and then pass turn over our opponent. So you can see Royal Scions pretty good for the deck. There's a lot of times, especially in a Kykar deck, being able to just Monastery Mentor is great in that we can get a lot of Monk tokens on the battlefield. But if we can go for that +1 and turn it into a 6/4, I mean, that's some good magic right there. Then on top of that, we've got double Monk tokens that we're going to be able to have on the back end, the back burner. So anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. That's one of the good things about playing Kykar, is that even if we don't get Kykar, let's say Kykar gets sent back to the command zone, just simply getting down Monastery Mentor, it's the exact same thing. And that's going to allow us to just really kind of flood the board with tokens. That's what we're going for. Now let's see, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's still 2 mana away. Okay, so we're going to go for Duplicate. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we run into the land drop for the turn. If we don't, we still have Skull Clamp, and we still have an activation from the Royal Scions to at least still get down Kykar. Because at this point, we just really need to make sure our opponent doesn't get to Kozilek. They want to keep going for the -2s off of Karn. Go for it, because we're going to be able to just generate. We're going to be able to out-token our opponent if they're going to be going for Karn activation. So, don't want to see that. Counter target spell that targets a permanent you control. Don't really want to see Karn. We don't have an answer for Karn. So we're going to put Not of This World on their hand, and that's going to be Karn Liberated. that is in the exile zone. So if we can do something about Karn Planeswalker to make sure that we don't run into the other Karn, that is kind of funny, like Karn giving himself a high five. Hey, buddy, I'm going to put you in exile. All right, so they will swing one of the construct tokens at the Royal Scions, but since the Royal Scions are sitting at just 5 loyalty, I think we let this go through because we can hopefully... We'll see what we can assemble next turn, but either way, we're still going to be able to survive at 1, because we're either going to go for the card draw or go for the +1 off of the Royal Scion activation. Okay, so we run into Opt, which is actually really good. So we go for the +1 draw card, and then discard a card. I think at this point, if we're trying to get rid of Karn, we need to make sure we have lethal monk tokens. So at this point, let's just straight up just go for an Opt. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to go Opt. That's going to be +1. That's going to be double Prowess trigger. And let's get this exile zone just a little bit down. That way we get a little bit kind of a better board presence, so it's not so clunky looking. Now, if we can get to the magic number 4, that will make sure that we keep Karn in exile, which is really going to help us out. So hopefully the magic gods treat us well on top of our library. So, oh, Ponder, yeah. So we're going to put that on top. Let's go Ponder. Look at the top 3 cards. It's going to be 3 3s, and then either way, we've got it now with the double Prowess trigger. So look at the top 3 cards and see exactly what we want to draw into. We can pop one of the Urza Towers if we're that worried. Recruiter the card does give us another option, or we can just go into Preordain again, but we'll have it. So I think at this point, and actually kind of like drawn into all of these. So let's put Recruiter of the Guard on top. Let's put Wasteland on top, and then we'll put Preordain on top. We're not gonna shuffle our library, no. And that's going to put a Preordain, and then we can still end up going for the draw a card and discard a card. Do we want to get rid of Porphyros? I think so. All right, so we're going to go for Royal Scions. That's going to allow us to draw into I forget the other cantrip that's on Wasteland. Excuse me, Wasteland. Let's get rid of Porphyros because we want to make the land drop. We're going to have Wasteland enter, and then let's go Swiftfoot Boots. I think we can pop our opponent's land, and I think I kind of like that, actually, now that I think about it. All right, so we're going to have Swiftfoot Boots into the battlefield. That's going to get that last needed Prowess ability for us. And then we're going to go for, just to make sure there's no funny business, we're just going to go ahead and pop this Urza's Power Plant. It's going to keep them off Kozilek mana, and it's going to allow us to make sure that we just don't get Troned out, which would not be a lot of fun. So we're sitting at 4-4. Let's go ahead and push in at Karn. We could leave up something to block on the Royal Scions, but there are 2 cards left in the hand, and we've got Recruiter of the Guard left, so we can go Pyromancer. And if we lose them, they've already done their job. They cashed us in some card draw, which was what we needed to happen. So we'll go. I think that's Scry 2, because either way, what we can do is we can set up to where we draw into Recruiter of the Guard. Yeah, I kind of like this. So we got Recruiter, the card that we're going to draw into. We do have 2 Scries, and then Swan Song. Let's go and put that on the... Well, Swan Song allows us to get rid of the Not of This World and give them a 2/2 token, and we'll draw into that for the next turn. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't hurt to have that. So let's put that on top, and then we'll put the Recruiter of the Guard on top. So we'll draw into that Recruiter of the Guard, and then pass the turn over to our opponent. So there we go. Nice little turn right there. That was pretty fun. We just needed to get to the 4 prowess for these tokens, and we certainly did. So our opponent can swing in with the construct token sitting at a 5/5. At this point, we'll see if they end up going for the monolith, because as long as they keep that monolith tapped, that means they're not going to be able to get to Kozilek mana. And if a colorless deck is in top deck mode, that is not the best thing for them at all. So, but we will be able to have a Recruiter of the Guard next turn. That's going to be Duplicate swinging in at the Royal Scions. Thank you very much. Much obliged, Scions, as they go to the graveyard. But the damage has been done. And if we want to end up having some pretty good fun next turn, we might end up skull clamping onto the monk tokens. That way we can cash in some really nice card draw. Because if we don't, yeah, because we're definitely not going to hit the land drop. And that's going to be put it into our hand. So we don't know what's on top of our library. We can try to get risky and skull clamp. Yeah, let's just play it safe. All right, so we're going to go for a Recruiter of the Guard. That we're going to have Recruiter enter the battlefield, and then we'll be able to grab Young Pyromancer, and then next turn we can really start to Skull Clamp, and hopefully, we are putting ourselves into, All Is Dust or something like that, but I kind of like this. So let's grab Young Pyromancer. Yeah, that's going to be the best bet. So we're going to grab Young Pyromancer, and like I mentioned, if they've got a board wipe, they've got it, but at least if we allow this to resolve next turn and we draw into some sort of cantrip, then we're going to be in a pretty good position to hopefully kind of take the game over. So I get down Young Pyromancer. We're going to have 2 Monk tokens. I guess, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to leave 1 Monk token back. So we're still going to go and swing in from 1 because every point of damage is going to matter. So we're finally going to get on the board for 1 damage and then pass it back over to our opponent. But yeah, this is what I really enjoy about Kykar, is that the deck is just so much fun to play. One of the common comments that I do get is, hey, I'm a spike, I like to play combos, how can I play commander without trying to run the table? Kykar is a wonderful place for you to start. Let's say that if you're not new to Magic, but let's say you're new to just casual commander and pods and stuff like that, highly recommend Kykar, because you don't really even have to put combos in there. You can see what we've cast. The entire converted mana cost of this deck tops out at like 3, I think, or tops out at 4. And then we have 2 like 5 drops. And so you're just really trying to go for Young Pyromancer tokens, get those down. There's just so many different board states that you can generate. There's sometimes where you go Anointed Procession, and then you end up with a ton of tokens. You get Kykar down unchecked really quick, and then you can just really just kind of go from there. So there's a lot of fun options that you can do. Now we will have 12 coming down. We've got the entire crew coming across. So we're going to go Monk token on this Construct token, and we're going to take 14. And so hopefully we can develop something next turn. But yeah, that they kind of busted that thing wide open. We'll see what we can rip into. But it has been hurting that we haven't been hitting our land drops. That's really kind of been bottlenecking us on mana. So, and especially something like Lightning Greaves, what we don't really want to see. So let's go Skull Clamp onto Monk, because we need to start finding some answers. All right, so that's going to be 2 card draw. We can still actually end up going for Recruiter of the Guard too, which is going to be nice. In fact, let's go ahead and go for that. That's going to be Recruiter of the Guard. Casting 2 more card draw. Oh no, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get it on this one. Yeah, because we have to cast an instant or sorcery, and we've got Swan Song or Counterspell. But they've got Menace on this one. We can go for Temple of Triumph. Yeah, we got some really good stuff going. We were able to take care of that, but they're going to be able to get it with the Menace option, because we have to go for Shade Animosity. That's not going to do anything. We'd have to wait for them to counter a Counterspell for us to even get 2 tokens. Even then, we're looking at a Construct token and the Duplicate. So, good game to our opponent. Well played. We were trying to get to that point to where if we untap with Young Pyromancer and we can really start Skull Clamping, this game really does shift towards our favor, but unfortunately, you're going to be able to get it with Kozilek. That Menace does matter in the end. But we got a good showing. Got some really nice tokens on the battlefield. That early quick removal on from Ugin on Kykar really kind of set us back. But thankfully, we're able to rebuild with Recruiter and then Young Pyromancer. But they got it on this one. So if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.